When you send cryptocurrency, it can feel almost magical. You tap send, paste an address, confirm, and within minutes, or sometimes seconds, value moves across the world without a bank, without permission, and without a central authority approving it. But behind that simple action is a surprisingly detailed process. Let's walk through exactly what happens when you send crypto step by step in plain English. No hype, no jargon, no technical background required. Step 1. You enter the recipient address. Every crypto transaction starts with an address. A crypto address is similar to an email address for receiving messages, or a bank account number for receiving money. But there's an important difference. Crypto addresses are public. They don't reveal your name. They don't belong to a bank. When you paste an address into your wallet, you're telling the network, I want to send value to whoever controls the private key for this address. At this stage, no crypto has moved yet. Nothing is public. You're just preparing instructions. Step 2. Your wallet creates a transaction message. Your wallet doesn't actually send money. Instead, it creates a transaction message that says something like, from your address, to recipient's address, amount, X crypto fee, Y crypto timestamp, metadata. This message is essentially a digital instruction, not cash being transferred directly. Think of it like writing a check. The check itself isn't money. It's an instruction that authorizes a transfer. Step 3. Your wallet proves you're allowed to send it. Here's the most important part. Your wallet uses your private key to digitally sign the transaction. This signature proves 3 things. You own the crypto being sent. You approved this transaction. The transaction hasn't been altered. Your private key never leaves your wallet. The network doesn't see it. No one else touches it. What the network sees instead is your public address, a cryptographic signature that proves authorization. This is why losing your private key means losing access forever. No password reset exists. No customer support can recover it. Step 4. The transaction is broadcast to the network. Now your wallet sends the signed transaction to the crypto network. This happens through a node, a computer running the blockchain software, or a service connected to many nodes. At this point, the transaction is public. Anyone can see it, but it is not yet final. Your transaction enters a waiting area often called the mempool, short for memory pool. This is where unconfirmed transactions sit until they're processed. Step 5. The network checks if the transaction is valid. Before anything gets confirmed, the network checks basic rules. Do you have enough balance? Is the signature valid? Is the transaction formatted correctly? Are you trying to spend coins that already moved? If any check fails, the transaction is rejected. Nothing happens. Funds stay in your wallet. No human approves this. No company decides. The rules are enforced automatically by the software. Step 6. Validators or miners pick up the transaction. Now comes the part many people hear about, but don't fully understand. Depending on the blockchain, miners, like Bitcoin, or validators, like Ethereum, Solana, etc., select transactions from the mempool to process. Why would they pick yours? Because you included a transaction fee. Fees act like a tip, a priority signal, a way to prevent spam. Higher fees usually mean faster confirmation. Lower fees may mean longer waiting times. Step 7. Transactions are grouped into a block. The selected transactions are bundled into a block. A block is a batch of transactions linked to the previous block, forming a chain, the blockchain. This block also contains a reference to the prior block, a timestamp, technical data that secures the chain. Once a block is created, It is proposed to the network. Step 8. The network agrees on the block. Before a block becomes official, the network must agree that it's valid. This is where consensus happens. Different blockchains use different methods: proof of work, proof of stake. Variations of these, but the idea is the same. Many independent computers verify the block. If it follows the rules, they accept it. If not, it's rejected. This prevents double spending, fraud, fake transactions. Step 9. Your transaction gets confirmed. Once the block is accepted, your transaction is now confirmed. It becomes part of the blockchain's permanent history. Your wallet updates to show balance deducted. Status: confirmed. The recipient's wallet shows the incoming transaction. Sometimes instantly, sometimes after multiple confirmations. Each additional block added afterward increases confidence that the transaction is final. Step 10. The transaction becomes practically irreversible. After several confirmations, reversing the transaction becomes extremely unlikely. It would require massive network control, often more expensive than the value sent. This is why crypto transactions are final, not chargeback friendly, not reversible by design. There's no undo button. Why this feels so different from banks. With banks, transfers rely on trusted institutions. Reversals are possible. Settlement can take days behind the scenes. With crypto, settlement happens on a public ledger. No central authority is involved. Finality happens at the protocol level. Neither system is perfect. They simply optimize for different goals. What happens if you make a mistake? This part matters. If you send to the wrong address, use the wrong network, mistype a character, the network doesn't care. The transaction will still process if it's valid. This is why crypto gives control, but also responsibility. Always double-check addresses. Use test transactions for large amounts. Understand networks before sending. Why fees and speed vary so much? Not all crypto networks behave the same. Speed and cost depend on network congestion, block size, consensus method, fee market design. That's why some transactions cost pennies, others cost dollars, and some confirm in seconds while others take minutes. Nothing is broken. That's just how different blockchains are designed. What you didn't need? Notice what never happened during this process. No bank approval, no identity check, no office hours, no geographic limits. The network enforced the rules automatically. That's the core innovation. The big picture. When you send crypto, you're not sending files or coins through the internet. You're publishing a signed message to a global ledger that thousands of computers agree on without trusting any single one of them. Once you understand that, crypto becomes far less mysterious and far more logical. Final thought. Crypto transactions aren't magic. They're rules, math, and consensus, working together without intermediaries. Understanding what happens step by step doesn't make you an expert, but it does make you safer, calmer, and far harder to mislead. And that's the real value of learning how this works. Hey, since you stayed to view, a small bonus here of me messing things up in a prior video. Some extra flubs here. Ha! I do not like dealing with technology sometimes. Enjoy! Now, what is this all about? Do we need a bank anymore? Permission to move? That's exactly what's going on here. Explain it simply, please. So right now, I was getting a little upset, but okay, I'm doing better now. So this feels confusing, technical, or intimidating. This explanation is for you. No jargon, no hype, just the basics. Hello there. It's wonderful to connect with you today. I truly value these special moments we share together. Just taking a moment to appreciate this quiet time It allows us to breathe and find some peace. Sometimes a little pause is all we need. Such simple acts can bring great clarity and deep calm. Thank you so much for joining me right here today. Your presence is greatly appreciated in this tranquil setting.